We want to begin with a 7 News alert. A robbery at an upstate bank today. Deputies say they now have a person of interest in custody. Take a look here. The sheriff's office tells us the suspect left Dogwood State Bank on Clemson Boulevard with an undisclosed amount of cash around 1:15 this afternoon. No one was hurt at the bank. Stick with 7 News as we do learn more information, including anything about the charges this person faces.
New tonight, the Department of Corrections says 3 people are charged with sending books laced with drugs to more than a dozen prisons. That's books laced with drugs. Lauren Miller spoke with a postal inspector about the accused crime.
The drug-laced books were sent to 14 different prisons and made it to at least 20 prisoners, and they were all sent from this location. According to documents from the South Carolina Department of Corrections, parcels with drug-laced books inside were dropped off at the Woodruff Post Office and sent to prisons across the state from March until June 2025. Authorities say Shatasha Lewis, a former corrections officer, Devin Kershaw, a former inmate at the Spartanburg County Detention Center, and Corey Terry were all involved. United States Postal Inspector Breslin Steverson says this tactic is not uncommon across the country.
It's a tactic. Prisoners' mail is usually screened before it goes in, so anything that, a criminal can do to try and sneak it in, books, thick, a lot of pages, so I think they feel like it's a higher chance of getting it in instead of just like a letter.
Documents revealed agents confiscated 666 sheets of paper soaked in K2 and 241 Suboxone strips from packages.
If you just flip through the book really quickly, you might not see it, but if you go page by page, you'll find it. So it's just, playing the odds.
But it's out of the post office's hands when it comes to checking before the package makes it to prison.
Post office doesn't check, mail or books or mailings. Once you bring a package to the post office and it's closed, we don't open it. People have Fourth Amendment rights, so we have to get a search warrant if we're going to open any parcel. That is done within the prisons. Once the mail goes in, then they have the authority to open and search that mail.
Steverson says this set off alarm bells.
As far as checking, it's going to raise more red flags. We're going to be more diligent as far as mail goes in.
The U.S. Postal Service tells us this is still an ongoing investigation. In Spartanburg County, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
Kershaw faces multiple charges, including furnishing contraband to a prisoner and criminal conspiracy. Lewis and Terry are charged with intent to distribute.
Spartanburg community is honoring the memory of a beloved former mayor.
Former Mayor Junie White passed away yesterday. He was 87 years old. Our Ripley Simone spoke with people close to him.
Mayor Junie White was known as a man of the people and served the city of Spartanburg for 15 years as mayor and city councilman. Current Spartanburg Mayor Jerome Rice says Junie White set up Spartanburg to be what it is now. Rice served with Mayor White for 12 years.
It's a tremendous loss. For me, Junie was a friend, first and foremost, but and also for the city of Spartanburg, just a loss for the community.
In addition to serving the people of Spartanburg as mayor, Junie White also owned White's Pine Street Exxon.
And even before, as I came on as the council member, Junie did become the mayor, and we served in those capacities for 12 years. But even before then, growing up here in Spartanburg, everybody knew about White Exxon, and you can go by and see Mr. White there. He's helping folks out.
Johnny Lee is the manager of that store and says Mayor White was more than a boss.
I started working for Mr. White in 1984. My father passed away when I was 2 weeks old, so when I started him, he kind of took me under his wing and came like a father. So he's more like a father figure to me versus an employer.
Lee says Mayor White was one of the most generous people he knew.
People would come and talk, well, I need this or I need help with that. He didn't back down. He was the first one that would give to what he believed in.
He was a person before he became mayor, and he believed in people.
Mayor White was 87 years old, yet his legacy lives on in Spartanburg communities. In Spartanburg, Ripley Simone, 7 News.
White ran for mayor and won in 2009. He held the office for 3 terms before stepping down in 2021.
For joining us on this Tuesday, a Trump administration demand to review voters' registration has reached South Carolina. The State Election Commission has been asked to provide partial Social Security numbers and driver's license numbers for all eligible voters. The DOJ is set to meet with the Election Commission tomorrow, and 7 News State House reporter Caroline Yaffa joins us now with what's on the line.
The State Election Commission has been granted several extensions, but the DOJ gave them until Friday to abide by their request, and it impacts about 3.4 million voters.
I am always concerned about anything that discourages people from voting. There is the potential that people will be fearful of voting.
The request came from the Trump administration, and it has been sent out to several other states. But so far, the Election Commission says no data has been shared. They say they're committed to complying with all legal requirements while ensuring the privacy and security of voter information.
The South Carolina State Election Commission is taking a very good approach here. They're being cautious. They are respecting the rights of their citizens.
The DOJ is requesting voter list data, including all South Carolinian voters' last 4 digits of their Social Security number and their driver's license number. Governor McMaster's office sent us this statement that reads in part, Governor McMaster fully supports President Trump's efforts to expose the Biden Democrat illegal immigrant voter registration scam. The federal government already has our federally issued Social Security numbers. That's how they find bogus Social Security numbers on state voter rolls. But not everyone thinks this is what's best for South Carolinian voters.
The governor should ask themselves, not asking what the federal government already has, but does he value his loyalty to Trump and the Trump DOJ more than he values his loyalty to South Carolina voters and protecting our privacy? He is duty-bound to protect our privacy.
Chairman Drew McKissick of the South Carolina Republican Party agrees with Trump and McMaster. He says, quote, the Trump administration is working to ensure that everyone who's registered to vote in our country is actually an American citizen and therefore eligible to vote, a position that's supported by a majority of the American people.
South Carolina Republicans have been in charge here for 25 years. So if there's a problem with voter integrity, it is their problem. But I've never heard that. This is another way for them to kowtow and show their blind loyalty to Trump.
The State Election Commission says voter records can be purchased, but they don't include some of the specific information the DOJ is asking for. They say state voters can buy a full statewide list for $2,500, which includes name, date of birth, voter registration number, and voting history. In Columbia, Caroline Yaffa, 7 News.
Now, as of now, the meeting is scheduled for tomorrow between the federal government and the Election Commission, and we're going to keep you updated with the very latest here and on WSPA.com. It is only the start of September, of course, but many people already have their eyes on Halloween.
People love Halloween. If you're looking for a children's costume, you might find it at the Anderson County Library. Ariana Meadows has the story.
It's not too early to start thinking about what you're going to wear for Halloween. Anderson County Library is making it easier for families to start shopping now.
Right now we have a little bit of everything. We've got anything from Dorothy and the Scarecrow to little baby outfits.
Jessica Clark is a mom of a 9-year-old boy.
Costumes are ridiculously expensive. I mean, I've seen them range from $40 to $60 or more for a couple of hours of wear.
For the 3rd year in a row, Anderson County Library is hosting its pop-up costume shop. The library says it's a way for parents to enjoy the holiday without the stress.
I mean, my son has donated costumes to this project because kids need them. I don't want to spend this money, and some people can't, and some people have like 3 or 4 kids, and it just adds up really quickly.
This is a community-wide donation project. The library accepts all sorts of costumes all year round, especially closer to Halloween.
They're saying that this is a great way for them to clear out clutter. I mean, we've had grandparents that have them in their attic for years, and we've had a lot of people who were like they weren't even sure they were going to participate in Halloween this year because of the cost of things.
The process is simple.
You just stop in anytime to the children's desk, drop it off with us, we'll catalog it, take pictures, and we have a little notebook that you can look through to avoid having to shuffle through all the sizes.
New or gently used costumes are accepted.
Obviously, if it's ripped or torn and it's meant to be, then that's that's great. But if it's not meant to be, maybe refrain from that one.
The costumes will be given out for free, and you can keep them once you're done.
Everybody can relate to this struggle, and everybody can relate to that last minute. I forgot Halloween was in a day, and we have nothing to wear, so this is a great option for that as well.
Right now, the library is only accepting donations. People can come in and shop for a costume starting Monday, October 6th. In Anderson County, Ariana Meadows, 7 News.
During September, the Anderson County Library is celebrating National Sign Up for a Library Card Month. When you do, you'd be entered in a raffle to win a Kindle Fire tablet.